This Uber driver's traveler is a specialist and he's Bill unique. The film begins with criminal investigators Vic monitoring and Sarah Morris showing up at an inn to get the infamous substance, Master Ted Joe. I believe that is the manner by which you say his name. In any case, he asked the attendant not to surrender, that the police are here, however she actually calls him. That is commitment. Merits a $1 tip. Alright, young men welcome the police with a shotgun. That is the means by which we roll in our hood. Rainbow Six fans Vic Samson and shoots a person taking cover behind a love seat. Morris gets occupied continuously fellow while Vic gets gone after by Oka, who seems to be a Yakuza game person. Oka strategically punches the glasses off of Vic's face, quickly making him blind like a bat. Not the best kryptonite for a cop, if you were to ask me. Indeed, Vic gets his butt kicked by Oka, who is multiple times more modest. Morris figures out how to shoot the other troublemaker. No less than somebody knows how to function here. Yet, Elk acknowledges beating the police will not present to him any step up and takes off. Oka becomes Yamakaze and hops away by the overhangs. In any case, Vic gets a splendid plan to toss down a truck. It works predictably and Oka gets crushed down what resembles 2 stories. However, it doesn't prevent him from going after Morris. Vic feels he can fly now and bounces 3 stories down. In any case, gravity wins this time, and Oka gets away from the analysts drive Oka out of the lodging and into the roads. Morris draws near to the point of getting Oka. However, as they battle for her firearm, Oka fires Morris in the stomach. OF. That damages. Oka moves away as Vic hurries to his accomplice's side to save her. Just relax, man. I saw supply canines. Mr. Orange battled for quite a long time with that injury. She actually got time. Goodness, no, she's dead. Ruben penetrate. A half-year after the fact, we meet Stu, who works at an outdoor supplies store while agreeing with a particular position work as a Uber driver. He needs to give a ride to his douche chief, Richie Sandusky, who runs his dad's store and gives him the epithet Stuber, which Stu detests. Couldn't say whether that is awful. I had a colleague in secondary school whose moniker was Tacky Fingers. Dislike it was a cool thing. He didn't come to the latrine one day, attempted to hold the stream coming from his butt with his hands. What's more, it occurred from the entire class. Gracious, sweet recollections. Sorry. Stu should keep his rating north of 4 stars or he gets terminated and his rides are struggling normally. Gracious, man, you couldn't envision how I needed to keep a 5-star rating at a Thai massage salon I used to work with. Those tacky fingers were laborers of the month for quite a while. Better believe it, the moniker was mine. In the interim, Vic is fixated on getting Oka and avenging Morris. He prepares his shooting without glasses. How about you simply have focal points, brother? Commander Angie McHenry advises Vic to let it go in light of the fact that the argument against Oka is knock up to the federal authorities. Darn, those kung fu illustrations for quite a long time won't ever pay off. Stu is likewise putting resources into a twist class rec center business with his school companion Becca, with whom he is furtively enamored. Brown knows tragically, she's dating a hotshot ball player. Vic understands his time and gets LASIK medical procedure high level of intelligence move. In reality, I want to do that. He'll be tipsy and see and clear for some time and need to wear Riddick glasses. Looks wonderful. Vic gets together with his girl Nicole, who reminds him she has a workmanship exhibition opening soon thereafter. He swears he remembered about it, despite the fact that he booked a Nile medical procedure for precisely the same day. Exemplary number 1 father cop move. He vows to go to despite the fact that he's a visually impaired mole. Nicole introduces the Uber application to assist him with getting to the display while partaking in an energy nap. Vic gets a call from his witness, Leon, who madly enlightens Vic concerning a heroin drop from Oka. Sometime thereafter, Vic seizes the opportunity and goes to meet Leon. Not the smartest thought. He drives like I used to in GTA when I was 6. Pushing things over, lastly crashing into a development opening. Vic must choose the option to require a Uber, and that is the way he meets Stu. The last option X very irritating, talking more than driving, so I'm not even shocked the kid battles with those 5 stars. Turns out Vic has picked Uber pool, so 2 chicks get into the back. Nah, not on my obligation. So he discards the chicks. After a few additional irritating discussions from Stu, the 2 show up at Leon's distribution center. Vic tracks down Leon not in his best condition. All in all, dead. In the meantime, Stu gets a video call from an irate and smashed Becca. She found many sassy photographs of different young ladies on her now ex's telephone. All things considered, what else could you hope to find in a b-ball star's telephone? Candy pulverize. Incredible game. However, free latrine times. Beck welcomes you to come over and solace her alcoholic and newly separated woman. That resembles a celebrity pass to the aunties zone. Stu vows to be there subsequent to managing Vic, who's not exactly understanding that Leon is dead, gone. At the end of the day, gone on the grounds that he's dead. He takes Leon's telephone unwittingly, abandoning ridiculous impressions. As far as we tell on the telephone, Leon's last contact with somebody by the name of Golden Tinies. He calls her amazingly, establishing a connection of Leon, and tracks down her location. Then, at that point, he gets back to Stu and forces him to head to Compton. They get into a male strip club. Vic makes Stu go inside with him. I get it smells like balls in there, huh? Took it from this showstopper. They meet Golden, who isn't titties, yet entirely to its French. She runs a spot and schools one of the artists, Felix, for eating a sandwich. At the point when he needs to look buff, Vic converses with her about Leon and says she was associated with a seller named Amo Cortez. Stu converses with Felix about Becca, sharing that he applauded her cheeks sometime back when she said a final farewell to another person. The young lady has an example, yet the 2 of them carry on as though nothing occurred. Felix surges to communicate his sentiments to her much drunker. Becca calls Stu once more and says she needs that curry chorizo in her white bun. Can't make this stuff up. Nonetheless, Vic isn't finished with Stu. He urges him to head to Long Ocean Side to track down ammunition. Stu follows on the grounds that he's beta in this story away. Miss Tay is talking with somebody on the telephone about Stu and Vic. Susie. In the meantime, in the vehicle, Vic shares a tale about how his harmful alcoholic dad abandoned him in the desert when he was 14 and that Vic turned into a man that day. Stu just wince about how Vic is keeping him from turning into a man with Becca. The young men show up in a not all that great area, and Vic goes into a house where Vic grills ammunition and his mates. The home slices don't abandon ammunition and request the K9 to go after Vic, however the unfortunate pup vomits out a bunch of medications. You call PETA? Vic is a K9 sweetheart, so he threatens to use his weapon and feeds the medications to one of the homeboys, and they rapidly surrender. What Amo's identity is Narcs. Vic gets him to Stu's vehicle, calling the stepping stool his accomplice. Hello, decent chipping away at that vocation stepping stool, Stu. I heard cops get compensated well, particularly when they hang with vendors. Vic leaves ammunition in the vehicle, yet Stu denies. Wasn't it a Uber pool? He even gives Stu a little weapon to sell the accomplice story. Yet, ammunition rapidly understands, as well, is only a Uber driver and endeavors to escape by getting through the window. Stu attempts to stop him and shoots him on the leg. Pleasant one, brother. First day at work and you've previously shot somebody. Exemplary jump second. Vic returns with a pop and begins to pry data from ammunition. He uncovers a drop is going down tonight, however passed down from shock prior to telling where it's working out. Vic can in any case get ammunition to occasion who treats him better than at a 5-star clinic after Mo awakens. Vic applies an exemplary beast power to get data out of him. However, Mr. Uber driver here, Stu believes he's the cerebrum normal Uber driver. If by some stroke of good luck they could run our country. So Stu settles on an alternate choice. How about we break into ammunition, Twitter, and compose something big at ammunition breaks right away. The drop occurs after 12 p.m. at a capacity yard when Stu at long last has the balls to tap out with Vic and return to his vehicle. A gathering of OKC's hooligans enters and the Pioneer holds to a gunpoint trade. Exchanges start, yet Vic breaks their feign and realizes they'll simply kill each of them three to dispose of those remaining details. Stu swoons, and the fire march starts before he finishes to hide. Ammunition winds up dead. Stu crushes the lights off, and Vic figures out how to shoot the crook filth. The Pioneer attempts to get away, yet steps on the feline's tail. Furthermore, Vic places a shot in his mind. Stu goes ballistic over every one of the dead bodies and vomits. All things considered, I thought Uber drivers are utilized to that Vic has to communicate something specific. They're dead to Ochoa's telephone. In any case, look who gets it. McHenry. I realized something was up the subsequent I saw her. She visits Nicole's specialty display and leaves while criminal investigator Lee Carter appearing as though Pooh shows up at the exhibition. Vic hacks a numbskull and finds things not seeing a thing about Nicole's specialty. It's so current craftsmanship is inaccessible for me as well. Not so current craftsmanship as well. She meets Stu and he shares his day. I was captured, shot a person, needed to toss a canine food at. Hoodlums were taking shots at me and afterward saw them dead. My regular birthday celebration casualty goes to Nicole, gives her a firearm and asks her for his capacity unit's key to their home. Nicole understands this is the main explanation he appeared. That is plainly false. Clear as seeing Vic, she twists about Vic being missing in her life and thinking often more about his occupation than individuals in his own life. Offer the man a reprieve. He's a cop who seems to be Drax from Watchmen of the Universe. Pause, is a similar entertainer. Basically he's not a chronic executioner. Also, you see him some of the time. I see my father just one time each year. Jail days with extreme convicts are difficult to get. Stu and Vic leave. However, prior to leaving, Vic tosses a stone through a close-by shop to bring cops there for good measure. So that is who breaks my damn window consistently. I thought it was that awful youngster, Ernesto. However, he's a gifted soccer player. The young men go to the outdoor supplies store where Stu works so Vic can get what he calls a couple of slugs. However, he snatches every one of the weapons. He can deal with Rambo style. Love it. In the interim, Becca calls. Worn out on hanging tight for somebody's internal embraces, she says her beau called and sounded conciliatory. So she's near forgiving him. The fish is escaping the net. Dang it. Stu gets irritated, at last laying down the law and calls Vic out for his activities, letting him know that he is terrified of showing his feelings by taking cover behind his manliness and being